Investors, how do you understand what happens to your portfolio if there's a collapse in Europe? How do I understand what happens to my investments if there's a deflationary spiral and the US becomes like Japan? In retail investing, there is a big black hole, and that is economics. How do you analyze economics? I know it's hard to measure uncertainty, but Wall Street is spending millions doing economic analysis. But for that man on the street, the tools just do not exist. HiddenLevers is all about filling that void. Let's take a look at the core product, the economic data center. Now, there's always the Bloomberg terminal, an expensive black box, chock full of data. I don't know how to get at it, and definitely no way to publish it. We've got something way more approachable. What you're looking at is the economic data center. Here, for the first time, 50 economic indicators updated in real time, all in one place. Currencies, commodities, tech, real estate, and more. You can even get a blowout of the long-term trend right there on that page. You're looking at residential foreclosures, and as you would guess, it is not pretty. Let's take a look at the whole charting tool. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this, and it is awesome. But just one of them is now you can tell which ETFs do what they're supposed to do. So gold's been in the news a lot for getting high, hitting highs lately. Let's take a look at that. We're going to take two gold ETFs, GLD and GDX, and compare them to the price of gold over the past 5 years. Here you see GLD completely keeping pace with gold and GDX lagging behind. We call this comparison a tale of two companies because the economic indicators act as an exposing tool that separates winners from losers in the different industries. This charting tool is powerful yet simple. So whether you're a novice looking for a LIBOR chart or a Fed chairman looking for a clue, you're going to find these charts easy to use, web-friendly. It's all built in HTML5 and JavaScript, so it works just fine on iPad and iPhone. And to all my blogger and editorial peeps, guess what? These guys are embeddable. So on this core of economic data, HiddenLevers has built a screener. Investors can now find stocks that benefit from economic trends. So we know retail sales has been surprising to the upside lately. Let's take a look at that one. And while we're at it, we're going to stick with big caps and stocks that have a decent dividend. See, good investing decisions involve analyzing economics and fundamentals and technicals. And the HiddenLevers screener shows just how all those can work together. So here you get a nice short list: McDonald's, UPS, Kimberly-Clark, and Vornado Real Estate. Results across industries, all highly correlated to retail sales. There is no other screener, even for hedge funds, that has that you can screen on economic trend. We're going to go to our flagship product, and that is scenario analysis. We call it the eye opener. So over the past few years, there's been crazy stuff that we all know about. Subprime crisis, crude oil boom and bust, and Bear Stearns and Lehman, rest in peace. There's so many macro events that the investors were able to spot, but even then, they couldn't understand the implications those events had on their stocks. HiddenLevers speaks quantitatively to these risks. It's the ultimate what-if tool. First, we model the economic outcome of a big picture event, and then we take those long-term correlations we just talked about and explain that macro event in terms of your stocks and analyze it in terms of your portfolio. Let's take a look at one of the housing scenarios. So what if housing prices went back to their historic long-term norms, which is about 10% below where they are right now? Let's see what effect that has on a portfolio of tickers. We're going to choose a few. How about Oracle, UPS, and Home Depot? So looking at this, you can tell Home Depot takes a way bigger hit. Let's take another scenario. How about Eurozone Collapse? So here, the scenario goes like this. What if the PIGS countries had a debt default and that caused a contagion in Europe? Or worse, a run on the euro. So here, Home Depot fares better, but Oracle and UPS, they suffer because they have foreign business and they get slammed by a stronger dollar. A sophisticated economic model underneath, a children's book on top. So who's using this? Well, financial media already love us, and they're using us in the day's top stories. You're looking at an economic chart from 24/7 Wall Street. It's a dynamic widget embedded in seconds by the editor himself. And you see that link? It drives traffic right to a broker that is licensing our economic analysis suite. So here, Choice Trade is getting a boss financial product that brings its own marketing component. That's what our friends at Google like to call the moment of relevance. Hell yeah. So hidden economic levers are pushing on your stocks in good times and in bad. But in times of uncertainty, economics counts a lot more because the macro picture, it's overwhelming fundamentals. Like I said, we've gotten love from financial media, but we're looking for major partnerships in brokerages and investment advisors. So come find us, please, at the booth. And remember, in the roster of fintech innovators, only we are speaking to current financial conditions. Thank you.